Hello friends, welcome to this session and hope you are enjoying the series and hope you are trying these styles, the technique, right? This is the last style that we drew and in this style we use the tangle hollis. We are trying different tangles and just trying to explore which tangles look better and also trying different trying different strings, trying to create different kind of sections on our translucence, right? So today we will explore a little more. So what I'm going to do today is just give a different kind of translucence effect by, so I'm going to add this kind of a C shape here with two curls at two ends, right? So what I did is drew like this with my pencil, right? And then I'm going to draw straight lines like this, then draw straight lines like this, then close the end, again draw straight lines like this, then close the end, and then connect these two. And yeah, that's it, right? So this looks like a rolled paper on my tile. Yeah, so this is the translucent paper today and rest of the tile will be drawn normally, right? So let's try out this also today, giving the translucence effect on that section of our tile and drawing the rest of the tile normally, right? So till now we just created sections, right? And today we will just create an illusion of some translucent paper lying on the tile and then tangle, right? So let us first start tangling and then we shall see how do we want to take it ahead. So I'm first going to draw a circle with my pencil. So on this section of your tile, the tangling will be with your pencil, right? Because we are trying to give an effect of translucence, a piece of paper lying on your tile. And then I'm going to add an aura, another aura. Right, so I'm using my pencil here. You have to be using your pencil here to give that effect, right? Your aura need not be perfect, the circle need not be perfect, just an orb. And if you think there are unwanted lines there, you can always remove those lines. Just for translucence I'm using this paper, this tool, because there are a lot of working with my pencil, right? Otherwise I would not recommend using the eraser at all. I never use it while we tangle. Those of you who have been following me for quite some time. So again I am adding some more auras with my pencil first, because it is kind of a tricky concept. You do get confused where pencil, where pen. At times you do mix up things also. I do, right? So once you are done with that, just make sure it is a little bit uniform compared to your outer aura, right? So that's how. Let's now start, right? So what I'm going to do is use my pencil and add some moons inside, right? Like this. So I'm starting with the tangle crescent moon. Make sure you don't press your pencil too hard. Just use the graphite already there on your tautolon to add that inked effect to your moon. And now start adding auras with a very light hand. Don't press your pencil hard. We are drawing on the translucent paper which is lying on your tile. Right? So with a light hand, add the crescent moon in the center. Go with simple tangles. Don't go with too intricate tangles. right? The next step is to divide all of these other orbs or circles into sections, right? Like this. And I'm going to work with the tangle cubine today. Yeah, so I'm going to work with that tangle today. Make sure you don't have unwanted lines there. It has to be clear, right? So once we have created those sections, now like the way we do for cubine, start creating those corners and then connect this corner to the corner of the section opposite, right? So a smaller square inside the bigger one and then connect these 2 points, create a section, connect the corner like this. Yeah, now again you have to give the translucence effect. So I'm just going to use my Tautlon, use whatever graphite is already there on it to ink my cubine. Yeah, like this. Avoid putting your hand on the pencil. Right, again I'm going to move to the next like this. Right, remove the unwanted lines. Now it can be a little tricky, yeah, because you have to think whether you want to ink this rolled piece of paper from the outside or you want to keep it like that. I think it should be inked, yeah, so that it is more prominent. So I'm going to ink this, only the rolled piece of paper there lying on my tile. I'm going to ink that like this, yeah, and then straight, a nice curve, again join it here, go straight, give a nice curve, again join it here. Get rid of the unwanted lines, the pencil, right? So I have done that exercise and one here. Now I'm going to start adding the rest of the section. I'm going to ink. This is outside my rolled piece of paper, right? So we can ink it. Wherever it is inside, we will not ink it, right? So take your time and slowly do that exercise as long as it is out of the paper. So I'm now inking the rest of the sections which is out. Right? Not entering here. This has to be pencil. So this is again an experiment. We are trying out new things. Yeah. I'm going to ink the outside border also. In the outside, it is up to you. You want to add cubine only or you want to add something else. You can add any tangle because it is outside the translucence area. In this style, this is the only area, right, where we will be drawing with the pencil to give that effect, right? So I am going to divide it into section, but probably we may go with some other fragment or tangle in the last layer. Right, so there are so many more ways to use the same technique. At times I also draw the complete tile and then feel like giving it a translucence effect. We can do that also. We will draw one tile like that also, where we draw the complete tile with our pen and then give a translucence effect on it. Right? So now let us move again back to the inside. So where do we need to? Now here we need to give that square. Right? So they should look in continuation. So draw it in such a fashion that they look like, right? This portion is out of the paper, so you have to ink it completely. Take your time. So you have to think a little bit. Yeah, you just can't draw freely as you draw a normal tile. A little bit of thinking involved there, where you have to be careful about which portion you have to pen and which portion you are not supposed to pen. Yeah, that much of thinking is required. Otherwise it is a pretty simple technique. And then join it here. Right, again this section is on the paper, so I'm just going to add some bit of graphite there. Right, and then some part of the line is with pencil, and then you can use your pen. Yeah, this part is hidden, so I'm just going to use my pen like this. Again here it is hidden, so just it's hardly visible. Right, so again probably here you can just give a touch. Again you have to use your pencil here. Right, here some part is pencil. Again you have to use your pen in the rest of the part. Right, so that much thinking is involved here. Carefully you will have to decide where what, and at the same time you don't have to forget that you are not supposed to press your pencil too much. Yeah, so that also you have to remember. So quite a lot of things working there. So let's see. Again we'll ink this first. It's interesting technique, although at times people do find it a little complex, but it's pretty interesting. Again this is out of the paper, so I'm inking it. It's visible clearly, and then join these. Again here it is on the paper. Right, again use your pencil. Don't add too much pressure there. So again here that much is pen, again here pen, again here pen. Right, now as far as cubine is concerned, you generally add graphite on one side also. Yeah, so you generally add shading to one part of the cubine also. Right, so I'm adding that shade at the same time here before we go ahead and tangle, so that it is clear to you how. Right, so probably one line here also. Yeah, no shading here, some shading here, some shading here. Right, if you think you have pressed your pencil too hard and it is, dark, you can always lighten it. Use your pencil eraser little bit on it softly, and you can lighten the pencil. Right, so in cubine we also add shading to one part like this to give that 3-dimension effect. Yeah, so whatever is visible here I'm adding that. Right, not much, little bit. So once you are adding it on the inside, you have to make sure that it is even lighter compared to this part. Yeah, so that's another thing that you will have to take care, because the two have to look different, right? So when I'm shading here, I will be using even lighter hand compared to what I've used here, right? So a little bit of touch there with my Totlon, just to give a kind subtle shade there, because Cubine is shaded like that. But even with pencil I'm creating layers, right? Isn't it exciting here? Interesting, something different. Yeah, again very light hand there. Right, it is the same thing continuing here, but since there is a translucent paper over it, so this and this will also be of two different shades. With the pencil also you are creating different levels of shading. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And then we have to shade this also, but before that we will tangle first. So in the outside section, what do you want to add? Let's add some, we have had lot of geometrical tangle there, so we will add some mocha, right? So make it a little organic there. Again, draw mocha, rotate your tile, add another mocha from this side, right? Again, so I'm not following any pattern here, going with the flow, whatever I feel like doing. Two in the same direction, two in the opposite direction. Yeah, feel free, enjoy. Yeah, again, mochas, two in the same direction, again in the next, two in the opposite direction. Just playing around, right? Again, same direction, again, opposite direction. Yeah, so I'm going to continue like this. Keep rotating your tile, have fun with mocha. Lot of technical things that we did just now. Yeah. So I have done the mocha, right? So now the rest of the section I'm just going to add some moon on both corners and then add some auras. Build some bit of connection with the center part. So add moon and then add some auras. Or if you want to do something else, please feel free. You can move ahead the way you want. Right? This is just an example. So I am going to fill these spaces like this. Yeah, again going to add moons on two sides, two corners. One here and one here, an extension. Yeah, again try and connect the two sides if possible. If not, it's okay. Not an issue. Yeah. Again, I'm going to start here. Take your time and do that exercise for all. Again, extending this moon, extending the auras, like this. Again, another moon this side. Again, adding auras. You can build some here. Right? Again, extending this moon here. So just take your time. If you want, one nice thing that you can do is ink this mocha. It will add to the look of your tile. Like this. Yeah? Something like this. So still continuing with the same process of adding my moons and the auras around the moons. You can also work with two of them at the same time. Something like this. Yes. Or you can work on one at a time. Yeah. So alternate mochas I've inked, not all. Right. Again going on to the next. Take your time and slowly do that exercise. You can add any tangle of your choice. Here I combined two tangles, mocha and the crescent moon. But you can add any tangle which you feel like. Almost finishing with my tangling here. Continuing to add auras. Take your time. Do the exercise at your own pace. No hurry. Completing the last few here. Yeah. So I'm done with drawing my border. Yeah. So once we are done with that, now one small little bit of shading that is left here is on this paper. Here. And here. Right. To re-emphasize that it is a fold. Right. And on two sides of the border. That's the shading that is left here. We don't need to do anything else. Right. So the second line of tangling that we have done, good idea to add some graphite on both sides. You can also, if you want, and means shade on this line, that is the division, right? So you can always shade the fragments. Not really a good idea to get into shading the tangle individually. So you can either add graphite on both sides or you can highlight the divisions. Yeah. So that's another way to do your translucence. The concept is the same, but it's a different way of portraying it. Yeah. So just blend your graphite. Don't blend so much that your entire section goes gray. So keep a white section in between, which you can highlight with your chalk also. And slowly blend. Other side now. No need to add the graphite on your inked portions, on the moons. Doesn't show, reflects. So there is no need to add graphite there. Just blend. Blend nicely. Right? Again moving on here. Blend. Pull the graphite away from the edges. Let the ends be a little darker. Like this. Yeah. That's the rolled paper. And you don't want to do much. Right, last but not the least, use your chalk and add a highlight there. Yeah. So use a different blending stub and just soften the chalk. Yeah. So that's our tile for today. I'm going to close it here. Don't forget to sign and date it. Today is 20. Yeah. So we have drawn all these tiles by now. Hope you got the concept. We will try and explore it a little more in the next 2-3 sessions. Till then, have a good time. Enjoy. Bye-bye.